never, sacrifice or break your non-negotiables. Whatever you set them out to be, then that's what they are. And don't feel no type of way about it, because you owe you at the end of the day. Once you start to compromise your non-negotiables, you'll start to compromise you as a person, and you'll start to bend over backwards. Once you hold the bar high, and no matter what's going on in your life, you never waver from holding that bar high. You're making people that's in your life elevate up to reach that bar. And that lessens the misunderstandings in the relationships. Most people have misunderstandings in a relationship because they have allowed their non-negotiables to be negotiated.
To become negotiable.
Right. And once that happens, now you like, hold up, usually I ain't stand for this. Oh, but it did good. Usually I don't stand for this and whatnot, but with the head bomb. Like, what?
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole. That's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker, where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl. It's that Thorny Chic. It's Karen KK Rose, alongside my ever laughing, my ever happy co-host, the lovable asshole, Mr. DK Walker. DK,
what the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
Listen, we are canceling your TikTok.
I'm not even like, I think, I'm wrong, right? I'm about to do an ageism thing. I think you get to a certain age, you shouldn't be on TikTok. But my wife and my youngest daughter, they will go down the TikTok hole and they just be dying laughing. So, of course, they called me over and they showed me the little cute little girl. And she just, she had a what the hell fit. And I promise you, I never laughed so hard, and I've said it so much, it's become part of my daily, instead of saying like, what the fuck? No, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? So yeah, that's the vibe I'm on right now. So y'all gotta, if I be a little silly or if I'm like, I'm off.
We gonna bypass the what the hell. We going straight to what the fuck. We going right into what the fuck news, because I'm not going down this rabbit hole with you and TikTok. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not.
TikTok, cut the check, TikTok. We just gave you our free plug. Cut the check.
Cut the check. So let's since we in the what the hell, what the fuck mood, let's just get into my favorite part of the show, the what the fuck news. So DK Walker, you're going to enjoy this, because this one right here. Now, it's not to say that we haven't had good ones. I think, of course, your favorite is, Miss Tracy Lee with her smoothies, but I digress.
Nah, she got bumped. Remember, she got bumped by the doctor created a sex doll. So I was digging her for a second because she was willing to put her mouth where, she's willing to put her mouth like it's Tracy Lee, right? Tracy Lee, I don't know if you listen to the podcast, you're a cornball if you don't. Let me say that, right? But just in case you do, we love you here. At least I do. And I appreciate you doing what you do, making sure that your skin is tight, your skin is glowing, and that you're pimple free. All because of that extra protein in your life. What the hell?
Anyhow, in today's What the Fuck news, man steals massive dildo from a sex shop and is still at large.
What the hell?
I like all the puns. I like all the puns. So this is good. A masked thief is still at large after he casually exited a Las Vegas adult store in broad daylight with a 3-foot, 40-pound dildo hoisted onto his shoulder.
What the hell? What?
The store employee said he just picked it up and walked out with it.
Oh, forget all the brazenness of just taking it. Like, I'm not even tripping off the brazenness, right? Because, I think, we live in a brazen society now, right? But I'm trying to figure out, so he picked up something equivalent to a size. I don't want to use the word midget because like everybody got to be sensitive now. Like he picked up a dildo equivalent to the size of a small person to walk. Like, did you just do it on a dare, or did you do it for you're going to use it? Somebody that you know is going to use it. Like
in broad daylight, walked out, put it over his shoulder like it was a sack of potatoes, walked out the front door and was like, deuces.
Like,
And the thing of it is, the Mamma Jamma is $1,250.
for $1,250. That's what that costs.
Well, $1,250.
So I'm not even tripping off the price. I'm not tripping off the brazen act in broad daylight. I'm not.
But
I just want
a 3-foot dildo.
Right. Okay. I just want to know what orifice can, I think the word, correct me because I'm not a smart person on the podcast, right? So anytime I have a snafu word wise or use the terminology wrong, our resident genius will be here to correct me.
The grammar police is here for you day and night.
I appreciate that. So I'm wondering what orifice on the body is going to, I don't want to use it, dilate that large to accommodate a small person inside of them.
I don't know. Listen, we both are, porn watchers. I know a lot about I don't want to say I know a lot, but I've seen that.
Don't clean it up. You know a lot about prolapse.
I don't know a lot. I don't. I watched it.
Are you speaking from experience?
No. Listen, if I have not said this before,
you got on Depends right now, don't you?
Oh God, no.
And the way you said ill, like you just defended because you just offended.
Here's the thing. I don't like anal. I don't.
That's okay. I don't know if the podcast listeners need to hear.
They gonna find out now. So the whole prolapsing thing is just.
What the hell? What the hell?
No, so I'm like, since I don't already like anal, I'm like, how does, I don't understand it. I don't understand the prolapsing thing. I don't.
Okay. Well, I don't know how we went from what the fuck news into the prolapsing thing.
Because you wanted to take it there. So my whole thing is this. I watched porn. And so there's prolapsing. There are, some women that like monster dildos. I don't know if that's considered a monster or if that's a whole nother category.
Nah, that's not a monster. That's more, that's like I said, that's a little person. That's not even a dildo. That's actually a real live little person. It could have been cheaper. They just gonna put a little person, and I'm offending some little person right now, right? It's all right. It's all right. We're nowhere near famous, and by the time we do get famous, they're gonna listen to this, and then, of course, I gotta apologize, and then I won't retract my statements like some celebrities which will remain nameless. Wilding out.
I knew you was gonna name drop.
I didn't. I just said I wouldn't retract if you said stand on it. But back to the topic at hand. You've just been better off paying a little person to wrap themselves up in a doggone trash bag, cover them in KY jelly, and just gently easing yourself down on top of them. I mean, hey, if you search hard enough somewhere on the World Wide Web, I'm pretty sure you can find that.
Condoms.
Say again?
There's human-sized condoms.
Yeah, with a human inside of it. I mean, like,
Not with a human inside. Oh, God. Like, we've gone so far left. I can't even.
That is the ultimate what the hell moment. You know what I mean?
God, I can't. That is so
Okay, so we give him a man because it was a dude, right? If I'm not mistaken. Right. Okay, cool. So we give him a man. We having fun. We don't mean to offend nobody, but if you offended, then laugh at yourself anyway, right? We don't know if he actually is going to steal it to use it. He may just have taking it just for the simple fact because he could. He just got a whim like, I'm gonna see if I can just walk out the door with it, right?
So his kleptomania just happened to have some sexual deviance wrapped into it.
Oh, my man, like, well, what's her name? Winona Ryder. Mm-hmm. Like she's no longer a megastar, no shots taken, but she was like a very known actress, and she was dealing with a severe bout of being a kleptomaniac. So, I ain't mad, dude. I promise you, I'm not. So. Or maybe it was on somebody's shopping list. Like, okay, it's $1,200. I can get it for $700. Just stay right here. I'm gonna bring it around back for you.
Oh Lord, he go put it on eBay. Sweet Jesus.
Nah, well, hopefully he had the joint sold already.
Listen, he got it in his man cave with his shag carpet and his 70s porn music. Listen, he got a disco ball and a leisure suit right now.
I'm not going to even see. I can keep going down this because that's a bad visual. You hear me? But we
somebody man cave. I promise you, it's shag carpeting and the disco.
with tassels on his nipples. God.
With that terrible 70s porn music.
Waka 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 waka.
We're gonna change our theme. We're gonna change our theme. We're going to put that in there somewhere. Because this is the second time now in a podcast we referenced that god awful 70s porn.
Oh, I am so done with you, man. Can we get back focused, man?
Yeah,
People ain't
okay.
people that hasn't tuned in to listen to us be idiots. So maybe,
Yes, they do. That's the thing. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. And you know how I know they do? It's because if you have not been paying attention to either your Instagram, my Instagram, or the podcast Instagram, like we have crazy new followers right now. And like the comments, I'm laughing more so about the comments than the actual stuff we post now. I used to laugh about stuff we post because I thought it was funny. But is their reaction to it, or the sidebar conversations that they start to have, or, now that they're sharing it, on their own pages, I'd be like laying in the bed, like cracking up. Because I'm like, our followers are about as bad as we are.
Yeah, well, like-minded people attract like-minded people. So it's safe to say we have a lot of...
Our tribe is doing very well.
Right. Our tribe is highly intelligent,
Sure.
Little on the offside when it comes to sex, laugh at dark humor. Yes, that's our tribe. That's us.
That's our tribe. That definitely is us. So since we're going to, keep it pushing past my 70s music, fascination, how's the family?
Family is good. Family is real good. No complaints. We recently dropped my mother back off home. That was a good, yeah. I'm a mama's boy. Anybody that doesn't know me, so you can definitely check that box off. I am definitely a mama's boy and will be that way to the day I die. So we dropped, her off, had breakfast before we left, chopped it up, came back up off the road with me and my brother. We had a great conversation. We laughed at, shit I forgot long years ago, man. That's about it. Me personally, I recently, and I posted a picture on Instagram. I'm sorry already. I had to get my eyes checked because I'm like reading a book and the words started to run each other. I'm like, oh shit, this ain't good. Yeah. So
are we referring to your Kumo D look? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
That was a good
I'm gonna tell you the crazy story. Like I went there and like it was just me. Like my wife didn't go with me. I ain't had nobody drive me. I just went to get my eyes checked, and so they dilated my pupils. Right. Mm-hmm. I come on and I'm so happy that she gave me those Kumo D shades because if she didn't, I would have never made it home. At least not one piece. Even with the shades on, I barely made it back to my house. And it's pretty much a straight shot, but it's a long straight shot, but it's a straight shot nonetheless. So I'm in the fast lane because as soon as you turn out from, Kaiser Permanente, cut the check, I just name dropped you. As soon as you turn out, you just take a straight shot all the way up. Make, left, right, left. You at my house. Cool, not a problem. So I just stayed in the fast lane driving like Miss Daisy. I had cars blowing at me, going around. I'm just like, I just tell them and I never drive 10 and 2. Like that's 3 things scare me, right? Snakes scare me, rats scare me, and I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about the actual animals and people that drive 10 and 2, right? And if anybody's scratching their head and wondering what the hell is driving 10 and 2, that's when you have your hands politically correct on the steering wheel. I detest that. Like when people are too uptight, they can't maneuver in case something happens. So because I could barely see as I made my trek home, I found myself driving 10 and 2.
Lord.
So the
irony, driver school.
Right. So the irony was like my blind ass is driving 10 and 2, praying all the way home. But, I made it in one piece and here I am. So, we good. No complaints.
Y'all ain't set the garbage truck on fire again?
No. We haven't. That was funny. Nah, we haven't. Nothing crazy at all. It's been pretty much a mild week. Definitely get my man cave together. Like, of course, my wife put me out the office that we were sharing at the time. My oldest has bounced, came across a new desk that I caught, which I'm so happy. I'll probably post some pictures of that. So the man cave is definitely coming together. It's looking like, it's all me. I just need to stop people coming in here. Like, if you don't stand up to pee, you should not be crossing this threshold.
Sure, you just gonna have a boys only on the sign on the door?
No. A DK only. I don't like. It said man. It didn't say a men cave, a man cave, solo man, me. lonely. Me, man. Got it. Me.
Moving on. I can't even
What?
in my head, every time I think of the trash, the trash truck being on fire, I keep hearing Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire.
Oh Jesus! How many? You was doing so good, hon. You had a great run of not being a cornball, and then you gonna hit me with the Billy Joel reference? Really?
I know.
Oh Jesus! And you got the nerve talking about you blackity black. Okay, get your vanilla ass.
Listen, I wasn't Vanilla Ice, and I'm not Milli Vanilli, so hush your face.
My face is hushed.
Thank you.
So, what's going on with you? What's popping on your end?
Lord, we had a lot go on since we have wrapped on the podcast. So, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you should. And if you aren't, check the show notes. You can follow myself, DK, and of course the podcast. So if you're following me on Instagram, which a lot of you are, I had a slight minor health scare. That was definitely a scary phone call to have to make to everybody in my life. I went to work 2 weeks ago. It was a Friday, got into work, clocked in. We're running patients, and all of a sudden I hear my supervisor's on the phone. My manager, rather, not my supervisor, but my manager's on the phone looking for me. And I'm like, what does she want? She doesn't call you unless she needs something. So I'm like, either there's something wrong with my schedule, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, hey, Karen, I saw that you are, at work, but I was trying to catch you before, but unfortunately you've come in contact with patient X. I need you to log off your computer and go home. You're in self-quarantine for the next 14 days. So definitely not the news you want to hear. Definitely was a scary, scary moment. And by the grace of God, nothing happened. I was symptom free, didn't have a cough, a cold, nothing. So all was good.
So you got pretty much, well, thank you, my Heavenly Father, in Jesus Christ's name, that, the healing blood of Christ covered you and all the frontline workers. So you pretty much got a paid vacation?
2 weeks. I got to chill out at the crib. We got a lot of work done for the businesses and the podcast. But yeah, pretty much. And the thing of it is, it's not like it was 14 days paid by the company for, my better health. No, it came out of my sick bank. So bless God that, I've been at work since I've been working for this company for the state hospital since October.
Sucks.
So, yeah. So, the sucky part about it was I've been working since October. I have not taken a 6 day off. I'm normally not sick. The kids are relatively healthy, or to the fact where they don't need me to be home with them, any of them. So, bless God for small favors. But the thing about it is, we had all this legislation passed to, help this person, help that person. And honestly, healthcare workers are getting screwed yet again. The Family First Care Act does not cover certain departments of hospitals, registration, environmental services, hospitality, dietary are not covered by that act.
And trash men aren't either, but I could be wrong. Maybe I've been checking into that, but if it is, it doesn't feel that way. I'm not here, and I don't mean to you got a story, somebody comes in behind your story to make it that's not what I'm doing. I just think as a whole, anybody that still has to go out, I'm not talking about that because they want to get out the house, but they have to get out the house because their job requires that. I want to, thank each and every individual for doing so, because to stand in the face of fire and do their job, without blinking and try to be reassuring to people that need reassurance. It's a task, a monumental task unto itself, right? Should we be compensated? You fucking right we should be. But, we're still going to do our jobs nonetheless, because we understand that, helping people in the capacity that we do is definitely needed. So I am so glad that, your scare was just that, a scare. I'm glad that you had 2 weeks off and, did what you need to do as far as biz wise. I am truly sorry that it came out your sick pay. Right. Somebody needs to amend that, because the same thing at my job, right? If I get, if we get, then it's kind of crazy. How does that work out? I wouldn't get it if I wouldn't be at work, or however that turns out. So I don't know. But you just, you in your words, you keep it pushing, you keep it praying, and you keep it pushing,
Yeah. Yeah. So I was kind of bummed out because I was like, oh, I had all this overtime. And then I had a trip coming up that following week. So I was definitely, terrified, but like I wasn't going to be able to make it. My doctor was like, hey, if after 7 days you don't feel anything, you don't have any symptoms, rock out with your normal life. So I was really, really, happy about that part. So I did still go out of town. It was funny because, you and I were talking because, everybody was doing like their daily checkups on me. And, I got so irritated to the point. I was like, let's just all do this together. I was like, I'm going to take my temperature and everybody can just watch, and then, my temperature would be fine. So,
you're such an ass, and they called
I
me the Lovable Asshole, right?
because it was just annoying
you should be
after a while.
you should be happy you love, like you. I get that, right? It's just, but you don't understand,
Like sometimes you can be overwhelmed by love, like, and
really?
I felt because that moment it was overwhelming. It was just I was already,
okay. I tell you what, all the people that overwhelm you, if y'all can hear me, because I'm pretty sure that they're listeners of the podcast, at least some of them.
Mhm.
Let's stop overwhelming Kern's ungrateful ass without love. Let's stop that, right?
Y'all ain't stopped since I've been back. Y'all, the very first day I went to work, y'all was the very first people texting. Oh, did you go to work? Yes, I went. Are you okay? Absolutely. So I started doing listeners, I started doing like daily temperature checks with the family. Like everybody just had to log in, and I would put the thermometer underneath my armpit and just stand there, and I would make all kinds of faces and remarks, and then it would beep, and then I would show the camera, and I'm like, see, perfectly fine. 97.8, 98.9.
I think I'm
what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I'm about to say I'm comfortable in my sexuality. So for future podcasts, I think I should be the Thorny Chic, right? And you should be the Lovable Asshole. That wasn't some asshole shit that you was doing. But I digress.
It was and I only took my temperature for a week. No, I took it the whole 2 weeks. And then the funny part was, I called my parents, and I've said this before, is that my mom lives with me. So she became the focal point for everybody. Everybody's whole like, is she gonna go? Where's she gonna stay? What's she gonna do? Now here's the thing. I have siblings that live in the same city I do. She does not have to stay with me. She can live anywhere she likes. She can equally get her own spot if she wanted to. My aunts are here. She has friends here. Trust me. My brother had just moved into his house. She could have gone there. He even suggested she stay. Please guess how long my mother, well, DK, you already know the answer, but you're going to have to be the voice of the people. How long did my mom stay gone?
0 days.
She did a day and a half.
Oh, she did? I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, because my brother was moving that week. So she was at his house Friday. So she stayed Friday night. She came home late Saturday, going into Sunday morning, and never left. And then her like mother march was, I have to be here to take care of my baby. What if she gets sick? This is what she's telling my dad. What if she gets sick? If my baby gets sick, because they don't have kids together. It's her baby. They have his and her kids. I don't understand how that works. When I'm doing well, my daughter. That's the terminology. My daughter. Now I'm sick, and it's my baby, not our baby, my baby. So it always.
I'm trying to figure out how your rusty ass said pushing 40 somebody's baby.
Right.
What?
Right. This is my 67-year-old mother going on like this. She's like,
but I understand.
What if my baby gets sick? What if my baby
I'm being a butt. Like, right. You will always be your mother's kid. Like, I don't give a damn. You be 90.
Right. And this coming from the mama's boy.
Well, it's a difference, right? Because, men, we do the sick thing with like men, right? And I hate to speak for all men, but men, we take sick to, like, I promise you, a man can win an Oscar when he gets sick.
Hands down.
Well, we going like pass me the Oscar.
Y'all, listen, y'all want a daytime? Listen, y'all need a daytime Emmy, an Oscar, a Tony, and a Grammy,
and a Globe. Yeah, all that.
And a Golden Globe. You want a Golden Globe too?
I want it all.
Listen, yes. NAACP Image Award.
Almost and please do not forget the most important one of the whole bunch, the BET Hip Hop Award.
Oh Jesus, you're right, because y'all up there remixing. I'm sick.
You are so yeah.
I know. So she stayed gone about a day and a half. The joy, of course, the workaround is that she was upstairs in her room on the bedroom level. I typically stayed in the man cave area until I was like hungry or just wanted to lounge out in the living room. So I would kind of announce myself. I would like text her, or I would just say I'm coming upstairs, and then I would go in the kitchen, do what I had to do, bleach down everything, and then I would go back into the man cave. Or if I was going to stay in the living room, then I would stay in the living room. But I think after like the third day, then she just didn't care, because I think I put it on Snapchat that she was taking a nap that one day. I really was being. So she's like taking a nap. I'm watching a movie or something, and she's like laying on the living room floor, snoring away. And I'm like, "Is this what she does all day?" Like, no wonder she's happy to have somebody here. Like, who babysit? I'm like, who is babysitting whom?
You terrible for the
Who's
record.
babysitting whom? And then she had the audacity to tell my aunt like she was taking care of me. I was like, she hasn't even so much as gave me a glass of water.
It was a thought that counts. She was thinking.
It was definitely the thought of the lie.
It through. Yeah, for sure. So how was your trip when you briefly touched upon your trip? Like,
the trip. Okay. So I need all my male listeners and fans to lean in just a smidge. Your girl is still single. So we'll do with Friday. So Friday I went, I used to work for this rheumatologist. And so she had us come to her house. Oh my Lord. Better Homes and Gardens is missing out on that house. Like, the house is gorgeous. Got to meet her husband in person other than when we used to talk to him on FaceTime. So had a nice little dinner set up at their new house and hung out. A girlfriend and I had gone up there. We had gotten a really nice hotel room and we bought new bathing suits and we were going to go swimming and go to the gym. And we get there and the gym and the swimming pool are closed. So we were confined to our room, which was fine. She had been kind of busy during the week because she works at an urgent care and I work in the ER, and we pretty much work the same amount of hours. I'm normally like cashing in at like 90 something in 2 weeks. She's like at 100 and something. So, we work a lot. So we have a lot of sympathy and empathy for each other. So she got in bed and had fallen asleep. I had taken my computer and was working on podcast stuff and, watching movies and, in the interim in between of watching, waiting for things to load up, syncing things and all that kind of stuff. So kept myself occupied. I woke up Saturday morning. So Saturday is technically date day. I wake up Saturday morning kind of feeling a vibe. And I was like, let's call the circle. Let's all discuss this. But in the interim, my garage had collapsed. And a piece of it was kind of between the garage itself and the fence that separates my yard and my neighbor's yard. There was rumors that the city was going to get shut down, which is now actually going to happen here pretty soon. We're going to be shut down for another mandatory 2 weeks. And something else had come up and I was just like, I'm like, if I stay here, if I stay in Michigan, which is about an hour drive from where I am, it's like if I stay till 6 and I don't get home till 7, that's still putting me, kind of far behind in trying to take care of what needs to be taken care of in my personal life. Because, if we're going to go shut down, I don't know why we keep going through this, hoarding of toilet paper. But I was like, let me get some toilet paper for the house, get some shower gel, get some groceries, make sure we can hunker down for the next 2 weeks, even though I'd still be going to work. But, make sure we have the basics: bread, milk, eggs, cereal, whatever else we might, for me, coffee and creamer. Make sure we have the basics and keep it pushing. So I talked to the tribe about what was going on. And then there were conversations that me and Mr. Alkaline Water had, and I just couldn't kind of get past these conversations. And so,
first of all, I'm gonna need you to slow down, right? So, because you balling without a basketball, I did it like you. It's role reversal because usually me talking a mile a minute, and people like, what the hell did you just say? Back it up and slow it down 30 seconds per tick. So when you say you spoke to Mr. Alkaline Waters, this is what we're gonna refer to him as, or because I know you're not gonna put him on. Right,
no, we're definitely gonna put him on blast.
So, no. But okay, so and I expect you not to. Like, you have some. Cause we had a
kiss and tell, right.
Right, so we don't want you to be that type. Right. No. We don't want that. But, Mr. Alkaline Water is supposed to have been the person you were seeing while you was out, right? So you got to make sure people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I was supposed to go see Mr. Alkaline Water, woke up with this news, and then I just woke up kind of in a vibe. He and I have been talking kind of off and on during the week, and there were just some conversations that were had, and I could have been putting the cart before the horse, but when you start looking at certain situations and it becomes like, okay, if this becomes a real thing, then this is the situation we're at. And so for me, I was like, I have worked my ass off to get where I'm at. And I don't want to ever sound materialistic, but I've worked really, really hard to get my house. I worked really, really hard to get my credit score. I have certain assets and liabilities that are mine, but at the same sense, I feel like that's where you should be, or if not a step higher than where I am right now. And when you don't match me, it's not that I'm judging you, but I'm wondering, like, can you fit into my life? Because where my priorities are and where yours are could be two different things. And when they are, especially financially, I kind of got to pause. So,
okay, so and you're referring to him not being on your levels with you is what you're referring to?
Right.
So, if y'all, podcast listeners, if y'all haven't noticed, we're segueing into the podcast topic, which is, Karen,
being able to provide what you ask for.
Let me say it again and break that down, please.
Provide what you ask for.
Okay.
Being able to provide what you require.
In layman's terms, right, people, that you don't, like, I'm gonna let you get back to your story, right? I promise you, I'm not gonna, this is gonna be DK light this episode, right? For the 2 fans that do like me, I'll be back next time. Don't even worry about it. Because all I got is 2 fans. That's all I got is 2. Just, okay, maybe 1.5. Okay, maybe just 1 myself. Anyway, look.
No, it's MJ. It's MJ.
Well, she can't listen to this. Like, well,
Daddy,
true,
like, but she is a good cheerleader. She does want the best for you as her dad.
I promise you, I cannot wait to get the doggone tattoo. I promise it. So, it was my first tattoo, but that's either end of the look. So, in other words, like, and I definitely want you, because like we're going to help somebody, and like, so people get. Right. So people will be stuck and they'll think like, should I date below me? Should I date at my same level? And so Karen had, we had this because I was one of the people in the tribe that she called, when she was trying to make the decision, she should go through with said date. Right. And before she gets into a story, I really need people to understand, like, when you're dating or you're after something, you got to be able to offer to get. Like, we live in a world where it's reciprocal. And if you're not able to give something, it's hard to get exactly what you want. And so when we go at the female that has her own car, and these seem to be basic, but you be hard pressed to realize a lot of people don't have the basic, and we're not judging. It's just that you can't. Me personally, I don't think a person should jump out the window and to the, even if you don't have those things, at least show promise of getting those things. Because I'm not going to put you in a box and say, because you don't have them, you're not attractive. I don't think anybody should do that, right? But in the same token, just don't be in that box chilling like, conversation and cuteness is good enough. Right. Like none of that shit pays the bills. Like, you can take that cute ass conversation, turn it some bit sideways, and the rest. But so with that being said, I'm gonna get out the way and let my beautiful co-host, speak about her uneventful but eventful weekend. Right. Because I'm dying to hear this.
So, talk to the tribe, and so I explained to the tribe, this is where my thought process is, this is what I'm feeling. And so I'm like, and then on the flip side, I got stuff at home that needs to be taken care of, and that's more or less, that's my house is my house. Like, I can't expect anybody to come take care of that other than me, because I'm the property owner. If anything happens, it's my insurance claim, rah. So everybody was like, listen, if you're hard pressed to go home to take care of home, then go home and take care of home, because your energy is not going to be where it's supposed to be, which is true. And the other thing is, because I am dating, there are fallacies that I started to see within even just me in the beginning. So there's 3 things, if you're dating, 3 things that are just basics. Do not get impressed by them. Do not get, be like, oh, girl, or, oh, when guys talking, I don't know how y'all refer to each other. You're like, yo, my dude, whatever y'all say. But like for us, oh, girl, rah. Listen, there's 3 things. 3 basics not to get excited about: communication, concern, and consistency.
Oh, but
3 things: but communication, concern, and consistency.
That's
Those
the 3
3
C's,
things
right?
are basics, because I don't care what relationship it's in. You and I are business partners, DK. There's always communication between us. There's always concern if there's something happens, or even, just day-to-day stuff. Hey, you good? Day's good. Well, how's your side of the business going? Great, fine, fantastic. But we're consistent. Same thing with my kids. I don't see my kids every day, but I still, they all have devices now. I text them, tell them I love them, see what's up every day. Same thing with my parents. And especially now in the midst of a pandemic, like, you have to be good at your communication. You have to be showing some great concern, because we're going through some tough times, but you got to be consistent about it. You can't just hit somebody up one day and then be like, hey, da, and then don't talk to them for 3 days and then pick up where you left off. That's not consistent. That's crazy. Unless you're going through some go through. Now that's understandable.
I get that. So was Mr. Alkaline, inconsistent in his communication?
Yes. Like with the thing that I was having an issue with, and I had said this early on, to my tribe, was that I always feel like I had to initiate the conversation with him. Like, once I initiate the conversation, then he's good to talk. But if you don't initiate it, then you can go probably 24 hours and not speak. And that's odd to me. That's just odd.
True. Well, okay, let me play devil's advocate, although the devil himself definitely needs nobody advocating on his behalf, right? So do you think that you were more interested than him? Because the saying goes, a guy will definitely do what he needs to do to let a female know that he's interested.
I think we have mutual. I think I just maybe I'm more long term than short term. So we're a lot of times like dating guys, and I'm not talking about alkaline water, Mr. Alkaline Water. He could potentially fall into this category, but a lot of times short term girls for guys is just to bag the girl, just to bang her and be done. And then if it falls into a relationship, great. But a lot of guys are like now, especially guys you meet off social media, they trying to fuck. Like, and that's it. If they can get you in bed, the quicker they can get you into bed, then the quicker they kind of will say yes or no to a relationship. I'm not that girl. You come at me real sexual, like we talked about the dick pic. You start off like that, my conversation gonna get real funny real fast. Like I'm probably not going to entertain you for very long. And then soon you'll be blocked, or I'll just mute you. And once I see that I have 10 notifications and it's just your messages, I'm still not going to respond, period. So what ended up happening is I did text him and I said, hey, something came up. I'm getting ready now because I thought our checkout time was noon. It was 11. And at the time I'm having this conversation with the tribe on speaker and trying to get myself together, it's like 10:45. So I jump off the phone with the tribe and like having Siri text him as I'm literally jumping in the shower, packing up my stuff, getting ready for the day. I'm like, hey, something came up. I'll talk to you later. So I sent him a really nice, like lengthy text message. Like on Saturdays, he normally rests. So I said, hey, I don't want to disturb your place of zen. And, I know today's your day of rest, but hey, something came up at home. I'm not going to make it over to Detroit because I wasn't in Detroit. I was in Canton. So I was about an hour or so away. Like, hey, I'm not going to make it over to Detroit today, but, I'll keep talking, we'll text and talk throughout the day. He responded right away. Like, hey, no problem. I understand. You got stuff going on, go handle that. So I thought everything was cool. So came home, handled my handle, did my thing. He and I talked off and on throughout the day. Sunday, I woke up completely in work mode, like tunnel vision. I did not know it was like 8:00 in the afternoon until I looked at the clock. And then it dawned on me, he and I hadn't spoke all day. So I shot him a text message like, hey, haven't heard from you, rah, rah, rah. I still have not heard from him since that Saturday.
Okay. Well, once again, podcast listeners knows where, I throw my 2 cents and pull my fake Steve Harvey line and say that I don't want to be Steve Harvey and speak for all men, but it is what it is. And, sometimes it's best to learn about a person, early on than later on. Right. Now, whether you were using the excuse of things going on in your house that you had to go handle not to be bothered, or that you was actually concerned about that instead of having, because you already seen the red flags. Mm-hmm. My thing is if I've been married to Grip, so I'm speaking from, I guess, just common sense 101. Like certain things in anybody's life, especially if you're dating, should be non-negotiables. Like certain things, like I don't care how cute you are, I don't care how great the conversation is, I don't care even if they're bold enough to send, a pussy shot or a dick pic. I really don't care. Like, certain things are still non-negotiables. And if a person's not meeting you on your level, right? Because when you get to a certain age, like you're dating for a purpose. Right. And unless you're good with not being in something serious, because everybody that's listening to this may not be dating, for longevity, right? They may just be dating because you don't get a choice. Females have needs too, right? They get on the hunt, they get on the prowl too, right? They know what they need to do, for things to happen. But for the females that are dating for longevity purposes, like, and men too, it's just not, this information not exclusive only to females, but to all parties involved. Never, ever, sacrifice or break your non-negotiables. Whatever you set them out to be, then that's what they are. And don't feel no type of way about it, because you owe you at the end of the day. Once you start to compromise your non-negotiables, you'll start to compromise you as a person, and you'll start to bend over backwards. Once you hold the bar high, and no matter what's going on in your life, you never waver from holding that bar high, you're making people that's in your life elevate up to reach that bar. And that lessens the misunderstandings in the relationships. Most people have misunderstandings in a relationship because they have allowed their non-negotiables to be negotiated.
To become negotiable.
Right. And once that happens, now you like, hold up, usually I ain't stand for this. Oh, but it did good. you don't stand for this and whatnot, but with the head bomb. Like, what? I don't give a fuck what's going on. Like, if nah, we're not doing that. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care if you superhead cousin, yeah, with little more lips. Like, if you break a non-negotiable, then we done. And that sounds kind of, callous, but you got to keep in mind and whatnot. Once you start to go down that path, then you'll move off a lot of things in your life that you shouldn't. Right? Don't do that. Don't do that. So I don't fault you anyway. Whether you had to go home to take care of your house or you were just like the red flags, like, you know what, we're not even gonna open up these can of worms. And either way, it proved itself to be true because unless something happened to Mr. Alkaline Water, he never hit you back. It was you that initiated the contact once you got home. And then so it wasn't like he wasn't genuinely concerned. So by you sticking to your guns, by you realizing like, look, dude, you don't got a pot to piss in or water or a pot to piss in or window to throw it out of. Yeah. Let me just fall back for a second. And that, which is wise. And there's nothing, nothing bad about you. I know a lot of women wish they would,
would have paid attention.
Do that. Right. Because what happens is they'll go ahead and they'll go through with something and then have regrets later. Yeah. Well, like, man, it's look, man, a lonely bed is a lonely bed beats a bed occupied, with somebody in it, but you still feel lonely. Right. Like cold sheets is cool. Just what I mean.
Listen, somebody call Janet Jackson. She'll tell you.
Yeah, I get so lonely.
Okay, that's the cut right there.
Don't you cut me off when I'm singing, Janet. I need somebody to. I need somebody to.
Can't let just anybody hold me.
I can't. Right. And ladies, like men, no, stop. People, you just can't let anybody hold you. Like, you may worst come to worst, you may let just anybody knock your boots down here and there, right? Not a problem because we all got needs.
Right. What's done in the dirt?
Right.
Done in the dirt.
Right. I'm keeping it a buck because like we're not acting like we taking the high road. I promise you, we're not the high road podcast. You want the high road podcast? Go check down the dial someplace else, right? No, we're saying that we understand that people have needs, but what we're definitely saying is like, nah. Yeah, you just can't. You should never let just anybody hold you. Now you let other people do other things to you, but just not anybody to hold you. That means hold your heart, hold your understanding, hold your caring. Like, now you got to be a special person before I let you in.
Right. And you know what? I've said this before in other podcasts, and I'm going to say it again. The end is just as important as the beginning. And if this is how it ends, then, you got to go back and rethink the beginning. Like, was it really, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, I'm really not, because, everybody in the tribe was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And everybody was like,
wouldn't you be?
Right. I was like, what did he get? I'm like, it ain't like he went and like paid a mortgage. And I'm not asking anybody to, by all means, but it's not like he was like that invested in me where he was like paying a mortgage. He had met my mom and them, and he was coming to the family. It wasn't that serious. But there was 3 things that the tribe and I spoke about that, now, I really wanted to bring to the podcast is one, I was going to Canton regardless. That was my trip to myself with my girlfriend to go see the doctor and hang out and make a weekend of it. I was going to go see my friends on Saturday and then loop back and see him. But the thing that the tribe mentioned to me that I thought was really important was I went out of my way to see him. It wasn't like he said, hey, babe, hey, queen, whatever. Hey, I want to see you. Since you're going to be in Canton, why don't you slide by and then make plans?
Oh, so this was...
Yeah. So
see, you supposed to call me.
I'm going to be in Canton.
Right.
You want to wake up because he had been giving me static about being in Detroit. I was going like dropping family off at the airport. I would be in Detroit like literally long enough to drop them off at the gate, swoop back, come back and go to work. So the other thing though that bothered me is that he is not taking COVID seriously. Like when I had my scare, he was like, you've been taking your CMOS, you have key limes, you do this, you got this, you got that. He was calling like all day. That first day, that Friday, man, he checked on me like around the clock. I felt like, I was like, listen, I'm fine. I just want to take a nap. So to go from that extreme to not speaking at all is crazy to me, but that's on him.
Right, fact. So do you think it's a detriment that you actually met him online and not in person, or
I think
Do you think it would have made a difference? Because it's kind of hard. And like I said, I've been on the dating scene forever and a day, right? I'm a fossil when it comes to this dating bullshit. But do you think it's easier to vet a guy in person than online?
No, I think you're gonna have the same amount of issues. I think really, regardless if he wants to say yes or no, I think he really was upset at the fact that I had gone and lived my life hand to my handle, did what I wanted to do, and he wasn't a quote unquote priority. Because again, COVID number going back up affects me personally and professionally, especially coming off of a scare.
Right.
And so I feel like he was really more or less upset, like, okay, here she goes again, blowing me off because of a COVID issue.
Well, like I said, man, it's good that you found out early in the budding relationship than later on when, y'all got more personal, right? Like before y'all, bump uglies. I just had to slip that in there, right? So it's a good thing that you found out the bullshit early on, right? And it's, like I said, it's a good thing that you didn't feel like you were obligated, because what happens is sometimes women and men feel as though they're obligated because I said I was going to do something, so I need to. No, you're not like you said earlier. You ain't. You haven't paid my mortgage. You haven't met my mom. You haven't met my father. You haven't met DK. So I didn't run you past the people that's important to my. You see, I slid me in there. You see, I slid me.
You slid yourself right onto the internet.
I slid Right. I named your mother. I named your father. I ain't say nothing about your sisters. I ain't say nothing about your girlfriend. I ain't say nothing about your brother. I just, I elevated myself.
The worst. My brothers are the worst.
Right. I elevated myself. That's what I did. I'm smooth like that. Yeah. Right. I'm so silly, but all jokes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Too was, and you guys all had the same thing, was that, and this was where we all kind of had the same thing, was it's not a knock to him. And if he hears this, because he does listen, this is not a knock to you, but the other concern was my safety.
Nah, well, you nice. I'm a like, look, Slim, I don't know who you are. No disrespect. Let me give you some game, right? If you're really shooting a gunning for a female and you are not on her level, far as if you, and don't feel no type of way, or maybe you should feel a type of way and be inspired, right? It's hard to, it's hard to grab the golden ring, you know what I mean, while you still got the brass ring in your pocket. Like if you're going after something that's bigger than you, if you can't match it, like I said earlier, then you have to at least have something to offer. Females like you, okay, okay. Let me open up the playbook here, right? I'm gonna tell you the beautiful thing about females. A female will allow you, and you can agree, disagree, right? It really doesn't matter, right? But from the past, a female will allow you in her circle if she believes you have the potential to step your game up. Like you can be flat out on your ass, but for whatever reason, if she sees something in you, and I'm not talking about if y'all had sex, I'm not talking about if you're cute. If she sees something in you, the nurturer in her will allow her to be like, you know what, boo, you're not there, but I'm gonna help you get there. Because like women, their Achilles heel is to fix. And so I'm talking to not only Mr. Alkaline Water burp twice, I'm talking to all men that's not really there. You don't even gotta. So what happens is you think, oh, she bougie, she dry this, she ain't gonna be checking. Like if you put yourself in a position where as you're going to get to her level one day, or you're going to surpass her level. Either way, if you can position yourself to make that happen. Like she may 9 times out of 10 give you the time of the day, but if that's not your cup of tea, and then she look at you and like, oh, you know what? I was about to do what? And that's all you working with? And I ain't not even sex, but I'm just talking about your life, your lifestyle, what you accomplished on your years on the planet, and you still like, what? Stop. I was about to, oh no, I'm good, boo. I'm sorry. Like I can't, pick up a stray cat and take it home, right? I can't take a homeless person home. And that's what you amount to. Like men and women, not only dudes. I'm not shooting on the dudes that's, bullshit. I'm shooting on the females too. And with females, it's actually worse because y'all put yourself on a pedestal, because you think, you got some pussy. Like newsflash, you're not the only person with a vagina between your legs. It ain't nothing special about it, boo. Right. It's not. And a dude, and you wonder why a dude will go ahead because he'll smash and keep it moving. You wonder why you get smashed on the regular and ain't nobody calling back, ain't nobody checking you. Only time they hollering for you when they want to have sex because that's all you got to offer. Mm-hmm. Right. So like the podcast is like, if you want something, you gotta be with what you want. Like, okay, I want a female and she gotta, have a good job, drive a good car, got good credit, but your motherfucking ass on a bus? Really though? And that's what you're shooting for.
Right.
Okay, I'm not knocking you being on public transportation because like it may you may have a situation, and we all have situation. But what I'm saying, at least be in a position where you're not going to be in the current position as long as you've been in it. Like, okay, I can see daylight at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
But if you still in the tunnel and then she happened to look at you and you shooting, she like what? And if she treats you a certain way, she's only treating what she sees. It ain't, and she don't even got to know you. She just like, oh no, I'm good. I ain't even gonna waste my time. Cause like nobody has time to babysit an individual or
grown up. No, let's keep it a buck. We don't have time to babysit grown ups.
Oh, facts. We don't, male or female. Like, nah. And then you, what happens is you get what you put out. So if you're a female, I don't think you are good for is your mouth game is off the chart, or you being on your back is like, something vicious, and that's all you're gonna get. And for the dudes, like, okay, cool. You always the one that's paying and paying and paying. You like, okay, like when is she gonna? If she's not, she ain't gonna never. So y'all gotta take inventory of, first of all, what do you really want? And once you do that, then make those, like we said earlier, non-negotiables. Once you do that, then okay, now you're cooking with fish grease, right? You're really cooking with something. But what makes those non-negotiables negotiable is that, you'll let anybody hold you. Like that cold bed get to talking to you, your friends, and then the status quo of you should be married by this time, or you should have kids by this time. All that stuff plays a major factor on your psyche, and then you start to attract people that you wouldn't even get the time of day just to go ahead and fit the status quo of America, telling you that you should be this, that, and the third. When like, nah, I'm good. Like I like a cold bed. I promise you, I do.
And here's the thing though, but when I said my safety, like I was going to meet him by myself. My friends weren't going. So I'm talking about my physical safety was our issue as a collective.
We're going to talk about that off the podcast because you ain't tell me on.
Right.
See,
so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Right.
I'm going to let your brother know. I'm about to call your father. Go ahead.
Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, tell them. I mean, they kind of already know anyway. But the thing of it is, like, moving forward, I just got to think things through differently. Like, obviously, I wasn't going to any, like, non-disclosed places. Equally, I have an iPhone, so I can always send out my location. But the hindsight of it is, you just got to revamp how we're dating. And not just because of COVID, but just because, it's just getting difficult. It gets more difficult with COVID and it gets more difficult without COVID. Plain and simple.
Man, you just, okay, like, so, okay. Let me use some advice. All the shit I said earlier applied to you, right? Like,
there you go.
Right. Non-negotiables. Like, as soon as you got to talking, you got a car. Oh, you can't meet me. Oh, you can't even cash at me the gas money to meet you.
But you don't got no. Don't cash at me, Cass. Because here's the thing: the place I'm at in life, there's two things I'm concerned about. One, I don't want to take care of another person, and it can sound selfish, it can sound cold, it can sound whatever the f it need to sound like. I don't give a flying fuck. Here's the thing: I am 36, pushing 37. I have my own mortgage. I have my own bills. My mother lives with me. I got my own kids. I come with a whole lot of stuff in a tribe. Like when you get with me, you got to take all of them on. I don't want another person to take care of. I don't. If you got to cash out me gas money. Listen, now I'm supposed to come up there to try to kick it with you, be intimate with you, be, lovey-dovey with you. But now I got to finish my work week, pack my bag, drive to where you at, drive you around so you can be a scrub, hanging out the passenger side of your girl's ride, trying to holler at your friends. No, boo, what we not going to do. Because my thing is, if we go on a date and we live in two separate cities, we live in two separate states, how you coming to me?
Wow.
Because now I got to keep running to you and going to where you are, making you comfortable. So when is it that you going to take care of me? When does this become reciprocal?
Ooh, okay, I heard all that and that was beautiful. You sound like you went on a DK rant. That's what it sounded like. You went a DK rant. But in the midst of your DK rant, did you really just call this dude a scrub? Scrub.
I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love.
Anyway, stop being silly. Look, so
best friends right, trying to holler at. No, you're not. Nope. Stay right there on the passenger side.
Right, but let's keep it a buck. I'm sorry. Let's give it a buck. So the reason that he felt as though he had a shot because you allowed your non-negotiables to be negotiated. Because you knew, keeping it a buck, right? You can go and curse me out after the podcast. You knew going in, he didn't have a car. You knew going in that he was, a little flighty. So you knew these things going in, right? So you got to ask yourself what allowed you to entertain the bullshit. And then you come to your assistance at the 11th hour.
Well, no, the thing about the car situation didn't come up until the 11th hour.
Really though? Oh, so he
Yeah.
wasn't being honest.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, right.
So the
So it
car
was just
situation didn't come up until the 11th hour. So then once that came into play, then I had to sit back. Because like I said, getting with me or even in any relationship, it's got to be reciprocal. I don't
for
want,
sure. The only
especially at this point, I don't want to take care of nobody. Like, not like that, where I got to, worry about how you eat, how you sleep, how you drink, how you get to and from. That's no.
you
I
sound
got
like me.
my kids already. I got parents who are grown. I got a whole tribe. I already got to worry about. I need somebody who's going to worry about me at some point. And if I'm constantly putting out all this energy for you and you ain't really riding for me like I'm riding for you, then of course I'm going to feel shortchanged.
Right, but true. But you also got to keep in mind that rarely is love, 50-50. But of course you got to get to love, what I mean? I think it needs to be a lot of give and take in the courtship stage, right? And then once you get to love and you settle into the groove of life, the give and take is really 50-50, but it can't be lopsided. And then if you're going to start a relationship, it definitely can't be lopsided because you'll never get to love in the first place. If I'm starting off and it's like 90-10, there's no way that I can get, you're just filling the void and I can't love you. And it has nothing to do, and somebody's going to hear this and think that we're talking about materialistic shit. We're not. We're talking about like, I need you to be there for me without me having to figure out a way for you to be there for me.
Say that part again.
I know that was deep. I got no problem calling my own shit, right? Because I'm to be honest, I'm good at what I do.
Like, people in the back.
Right. I don't honestly. I can't do that verbatim. It was just off the top of my head. So rewind that shit back. Long story short, people, what I'm saying is because like I'm gone. Right. That's what I get for trying to be cocky. But look, I cannot provide a way for you to be there for me when I need you. Like, if that's the case, then I just need to double down and be there for myself. And so, like, right, major facts. So, like, just like. We pride ourselves on this podcast. Not, we're silly. We're very transparent. Karen is really, she's so transparent. Her yellow ass is naked because she didn't have to give you the odds and ends of her felt date, right? She didn't have to do that, but because
non-date.
Right.
The date that didn't happen.
Her failed non-date, right?
Right, my failed non-date.
Right. She didn't have to do that. But what it is, whomever's listening to this, hopefully this is helping you in some way. So it's helping you to realize like the person that, because you could be listening to this in your bed and then you look over and you see like, I come home from work, he was in the bed. I get in the bed, he's still in the bed. Or same thing with a female. You come home from work and the house is dirty. Like, what? You been home all day, you ain't done nothing? Like you come home and like there's bills and you don't want to pay none of them. Like however it chops out for your life, like just do yourself a favor. We're not gonna get too deep, but do yourself a favor. Take inventory and just be honest in the inventory that you're taking and where you're at in your life with that person that you may or may not be with, and be like, okay, cool. Like that's not working. Oh yeah, that's definitely working. So if you got more of things that's not working that is working, then you need to go ahead and work them out your life. And it sounds hard, but we are already, and I'm talking about all people are dealing with this, whole COVID, right? So it's kind of hard to just deal with life itself. I don't need to deal with life and then have to deal with the bullshit of somebody else. So if I'm going to deal with some bullshit, it has to be some mutualism within that. Like if we're not battling together, if we're not mutually battling together and I'm fighting by myself and I can't tag you in, like, nah, you got to kick rocks. Like I can find somebody else to hold me.
Right. And this is my thing to anybody who's dating. Especially, I'm gonna go with the ladies first. We gonna be very Queen Latifah, ladies first. Here's my thing, ladies. The whole point for me of this podcast is being able to provide what you require. You cannot sit up here and date somebody or want to get in a relationship with somebody and you want to go to Ruth Chris and have $200 steaks that you won't go buy for yourself.
Oh,
point blank, period. Dating, how you succeed in dating is you date yourself. You know what spot you like to go to. Because this was the issue with guy number one that I went on breakfast with, is that I said, this is the place I like to go. You chose a completely different spot. I gave you free game and you ignored it. Okay, that's how you gonna do me for the rest of my existence. I'm going to say what I like and you're gonna give me an option B. I don't need an option B. If you ask me, and DK, you know this because you were my business partner, my mom and them, everybody who knows me will say, if you ask me something like specifically about me, Karen, what do you want? I want a coffee from Starbucks. Do not bring me Dunkin' Donuts. If I ask you, if you say, what kind of roses do you like? And I tell you, I'm not going to say what color I like. But I tell you that color and you bring me red, I'm going to beat you in the head with them.
So, okay, we're going to talk about it later, you know, because some guys listen to this, you're like, oh, I'm going to buy some, and you ain't even give them the ammunition.
The wrong color. Send me yellow.
Right.
Send me yellow for friendship. But this is my thing, ladies. You cannot sit up here and buy some little Fashion Nova outfit. And I'm not knocking Fashion Nova because I do got some little cute stuff. So does Boohoo. But you can't buy a $25 Fashion Nova outfit and want to go to a $200 steak restaurant. And then you can't even provide the $100 tip. And homeboy shouldn't ask you. But if he do, you should be able to reach in your bag and say, yep, I got it. But if you can't take yourself to Ruth Chris and buy your own $200 steak plus the sides and your martini and buy multiple martinis, then you might not need to be dating. You need to work on your game plan.
You should not be at Ruth Chris. You shouldn't be there.
No, but you can't. But the thing is, these girls are getting into relationships and they're expecting Benihana and Ruth Chris and they want name brand purses and this is shit you won't buy yourself. So why should he? You are not his financial responsibility. That ain't your husband yet.
Ooh, wee. Who pissed in your Cheerios?
Nobody pissed my Cheerios.
You get him, Lord DK. You go get him, Lord DK.
Right. But you can't, I'm not somebody else's financial responsibility. That's why I said earlier, I'm not expecting somebody that I'm dating to pay my mortgage. Now, if he wants to, am I going to fight him? Nope. I will send him right on to benchmark.com and pay that mamma jamma all by himself. Go ahead, boo. You won't do that? You won't take care of your baby? Go ahead. Benchmark will cash that bad boy tomorrow. But you cannot expect more from somebody than what you're going to give.
Nah, it's not. That's not even being realistic. And for the guys, it's just the same thing, dudes. It's just, you see a female and she's trying to help you out. She's really trying to, she's letting you borrow the car and, you're going to see your baby mama while she's at work. Like, dude, don't bite the hand that feeds you, first of all, right? And I think we said this quite a few podcasts ago. Like, we got some really dope ass females. I mean, dope ass females that can really help you with your business plan. That can really, help you get your credit straight. That can really help you see your kids more often. It can help you do a lot of things. But in order for you to learn that about, that female, you got to stop thinking with the little man downstairs, right? You got to see what she can do with you. Not for you. It's a huge difference. What can she do with you? Like I know. I'm speaking from a male's perspective. You see the film where she fat ass, right? She cute, like, and we thinking I love to. I'm going to. But if you can stave off that pleasure for a minute to actually get to know her and what she's bringing to the table, like you like stop making the sex the end game. Right? Because you can smash 5 minutes into it's crazy. You can smash 5-10 or the end of the night, right? And then you didn't reach the end game, so you got nowhere to go from there. But if you took the time to know that what she can do with you, not for you, because you're a man, what she can do with you, like she can elevate your whole. She may be that missing piece of the puzzle that you've been looking for, but then are you so inclined to smash or run her credit crazy or drive gas out of the car, or just freeload off of her? You don't get to the good stuff.
But that's an important part. What you said is not what you can do, what she can do for you, what she can do with you.
And I told you earlier in the podcast, you got to keep in mind, women are, so God made the game really fair, right? Because let's be honest, when a woman is focused, there's not a man alive that can withstand, when a woman is focused. When she's focused, they know what we can do. I promise you, it's nothing we can, the most vicious hunters is, think about it. In Africa, in the Serengeti, who does the hunting? The man or the woman?
The woman.
Right. The female lion goes out and gets the meal, right? Like that doesn't make the man the pimp. It just lets them know that the woman, she's a hunter by nature. So when a woman's locked in and she's on the hunt, and she may have you on the scope, it's nothing you can do, Slim. You might as well go ahead and lay down with your thumb in your mouth in the fetal position. You dinner, you toast, right? But instead of letting that be the beginning or the end all, like, okay, start to pick a brain. Like instead of asking just, trivial bullshit questions to make, a non-moving conversation, get a little deep. Ask about a relationship with a father. I just gave somebody a gem there. Not saying to do that on the first date, the second date, but between the second and third date, please, dudes, do yourself a huge favor. If you want to be serious about whatever that female is, please ask the relationship that she has with her father. That'll let you know what type of relationship that you'll have. Because if she didn't have a father figure or she didn't have, some man in her life helping her, like teaching her, because what love is, like she's not going to listen to you until she has resolved those issues within herself. Because there's never been a man in her life to tell her. So you get there and you got this big game plan. She looking at you like, what? Negro, please. No man don't tell me what to do. And so you keep trying to find out what's wrong because you didn't have the own conversation to find out that, you know what I mean, she grew up without a father in the home. She grew up not learning where love is from a man, whether it be her father or a father figure in life. Right. So I just gave somebody, you know, real cheap game, man. Like certain things you should inquire before you go all in and stop thinking about like smashing. Don't get me wrong. I promise you there's nothing more beautiful than Lord have mercy. Yes.
But
it's
here's
nothing.
the part that they bypassed. They heard what
Which
you
is?
said, but here's the part. The very beginning is the most important part. On the first or second date, y'all want to get on the phone and have these long in-depth conversations, but not have to invest in a date.
Okay.
That's what social media is doing. It's, hey, what you doing? And it's not, and I, God help my brothers, because y'all is the ones I love the most. If y'all WYD me to death, you gonna get blocked immediately. Like, take the time to write the words out. I actually want to know if you can spell.
Hey, sometimes spell check don't get it right. Sometimes spell check don't get it right.
Listen, that's between Siri, Cortana, and Google Assistant. That ain't my problem. Spell the words all the way out. Do what you're supposed to do, but stop trying to like talk. Like, you want to do like the old adage says, you want to get the milk for free without buying the cow. You want to know all there is to know about me, and then maybe take me on a date so you can smash.
Right, I get that, but okay, but keeping it a buck, because we pride ourselves on keeping it a buck. You really can't fault a dude or a female. Like, if that's all you offer, if you fall for it, that's not my fault.
No,
like,
no,
you don't,
absolutely
right.
Not.
If you don't got your shit together, and he called me today. Oh, he sent me some roses today. Oh, he took me to ladies, like, don't be deceived. Like, if a dude take you to a really expensive restaurant, the dessert is you. Like, let's keep that up. Don't think it ain't. Don't think. And then if you swerve them and you're not the dessert, I promise you that is dead on arrival. Yeah. So it's crazy because all you got, you gained him for one meal. And the same thing I said about, you know, dudes finding out, you know, working with a female, instead of giving the man for one meal, he could have been that missing piece in your life, right? Like I said this a couple of podcasts ago, but like, stop fucking eye level and stop fucking high level. So if you out with a dude, like, what can he teach you? Like, you know, what is he into? Right? Is he into stocks? Is he into real estate? Is he into podcasting? Is he into writing books? What is he into? Like, can he help you with any of your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations? Like, have that conversation.
Just don't sit there. Did he last read?
Oh, that's and just like I told the dog,
and that right there says a lot.
Facts.
What book did you last read?
Okay, I read Old Playboy when I was in the bathroom. It had great articles. Okay,
Nikki, come get your husband off my podcast. He's done. Listen, he's done. He didn't have a peanut butter paradise. Now he about to go left.
Nah, but what I'm telling you, so silly.
I'm gonna tell her where you hide him in the man cave. I'm gonna tell her that bottom drawer on the left.
And now she gonna know how you know. Like, so you not getting me killed. But all jokes aside, like, ladies, you really gotta, you know, stop thinking that what's between your legs is a prized possession. And then the guy can be really digging you, and he could offer you so much more than dick. Like, he can really offer you, if you just took the time out to have a genuine conversation to see where this person's at in life. You're like, okay, you into ABC? Oh, I need it. Oh, I didn't know how to do that. Could you teach me? Whoa, now you gone further than like the regular conversation. Now you've gone further than like we smash. And now it becomes the relationship becomes mutual. And you get so much more out of a mutual relationship than a who's the first to get up after being the first to lay down.
Right. There's a meme on Instagram that says the woman always remembers the man that taught her something versus the man that bought her something. And that right there sums it all up. What you just said. Is that you always remember who taught you something. And this is my thing, you know, as we wrap this up, is that, you know, ladies, I get it. And fellas too, but I'm not y'all, so I don't know. I ain't got a small head to think with. I got
what you do stand up to pee. What you do keep it a buck. You stand up to pee.
I stand up to pee. That's DK's infamous joke about me that we will discuss later on a different podcast, but not today. But ladies, I get it.
Because you're the man in the relationship, you know, in this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
I'm good with that.
Yeah. That's why I want to hyphenate my name when I get married.
I feel sorry for that dude.
Listen, DK hates that. If you ever have a marriage conversation, y'all need to text him to the number that's in the show notes and ask him his gripe about women who want to hyphenate their name. He has a whole philosophy on it that's very, very interesting. I always say it to him. I always say when I start dating, I'm saying, and when we get married, I'm gonna hyphenate my name. And he goes, ugh, ugh. He makes this noise. It's worse than Rick Ross. Ugh. It's real disgusting there.
I just think that, yeah. Anyway, please continue because, I can get on that. That's a whole podcast.
Don't do it. Not today. But here's my thing. I get it. Like, especially now, the other thing, that I said there's two things that I protect is, what I have. And the other thing now is that the podcast, like, if I feel, and I can understand how somebody who's going to come into my life now is going to feel like they got to compete with the podcast, because that's literally my waking up thought, my, going to sleep thought is what's going to be the next episode, getting the shows edited, getting us together for, so we're stacked in how we want to be done. And so I understand that, I'm up till X amount of time at night. Again, I went on what was supposed to be a quote unquote relaxing weekend, and I still took my computer to work because while my girlfriend, who was supposed to stay over with me and watch movies, went to sleep. I was like, well, she sleep, I'm working. And thank God I did take it because it kept me occupied for a couple of hours and we got what we needed to get done. And so you get these guys now who are so fragile with their egos that they're like, oh, well, you can't pay attention to me, do this because you're working. Well, if you got to compete with what I'm doing, with my dreams, my goals, my vision, then you ain't to do it for me. So
Facts.
At this point in life, I like you said, I'd rather be lonely. And I can't say that I'm lonely because lonely is, I feel like if you sit in loneliness, it becomes a real thing. Are there lonely moments? Absolutely. Like the day, like, the best one, the one that comes to my mind, the most earliest one would be the night that the podcast launched. I drank a whole bottle of champagne by myself. Now, would it have been nice to have somebody? Yes. But did I have a problem drinking it by myself, popping it on Instagram with our listeners? No. But would it have been nice to share that? Yes. There's moments in life that I would like to share, especially when you have a health scare or, whatever, the go through. When you go through the go through, it's nice to go through with somebody. But I don't have to have somebody to do life with. It's not necessary. I said this before and I'll say it again. I came into this world whole. God did not have me come out of my mother and say Karen and her significant other. No, Karen came as Karen. That's it. To the beat of my own drum. I came out as Karen and Karen has to find Karen. Karen has to love Karen. Karen has to do everything for Karen before she can add on to anybody or anything. So while we're in these dating situations, and please, we're going to discuss one day these situationships on a different podcast. But before you put yourself in a situationship or relationship, date yourself. Get to you first. Protect what you want. Love what you want. Dream what you want. Get you together before you go try to entangle yourself and go do something with somebody else.
Did you say entangle?
Yes.
Shout out to Jada. I still love you, Jada. I appreciate you being a man in that relationship. And
if you have not gone and gotten our Entangled t-shirt, you can find us on Instagram. We'll put the actual link in into the show notes. We do have an Entangled t-shirt that is super, super cute. So y'all, listen, ladies, I done said it before and I will say it again. If he don't want to act right, let him know. You get an August, September, October, November. We'll go all the way into December, boo.
I ain't mad at you, man. I promise you. Yeah, you did that. Yeah, you definitely was on your DK shit this podcast. You have the right to stand up and pee. The 2 weeks did me some good. I got some rest. I got to, I got me together. I got me together. That's all that was needed. God just said to Karen, you need some time off. I had to have my battery pack unplugged and set somewhere else and just, take care of me for a little bit, mentally, emotionally. I had to process some things and just, I just need some chill time. I've been on the go. I'm still, now that I'm back to work, I'm still scooping up overtime like it's going out of style. I'm at work. I worked, 16 hours the other day, and then turned around, went back, did it 8, went back in for another 4, go back in for another 8. So, I'm working a lot. So God was just like, just take a moment. And I'm okay with that. But, before we, put ourselves in situations, ladies, gentlemen, that are just unnecessary. Know your non-negotiables. Love you first. Date yourself. Don't expect something out of somebody that you do not require from yourself. Okay. All right. Well said.
This is the Love Is Podcast. I'm your girl, that Thorny Chic, Karen KK Rose. This is where we hand it off. We hand the baby off.
We're not.
We're not?
We're not. Because you get, like, once again, you got to understand, me getting comfortable, you got to really understand where you're at in life. And I think, all jokes aside, I think you gave so much tangible advice to women and some men, if they're open-minded enough to receive that advice. I don't need to follow up, with, the Daily Love Jones. Like, I'm so appreciative that, you stepped up, because, like, clearly you had an agenda and you delivered. So thank you for that. But instead of us doing a Daily Love Jones, I want to do a quick thank you to all the countries that have taken, yes, I say countries with an S, that have taken the opportunity to download our podcast. I want to start, of course, in the United States, Republic of France, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, New Zealand, Kingdom of Denmark, Republic of India, Republic of Colombia. And Canada. Yo, man, like, you have a saying, like hit the people with the saying about, the saying.
When we're at the end of the podcast, I tell you guys this all the time. Listen, you could be anywhere, literally now, anywhere in the world. And yet week after week, time after time, you take an hour out to listen to me and DK go back and forth about whatever we're going to go back and forth about, that y'all seem to love our craziness. And we love being crazy with y'all. But you guys have, we've put so much love out in these episodes, and y'all give it right back. But you all have allowed my voice to go where my feet have yet to travel. And, so the other day, Denmark popped up on our audience feed, and I was like, what? Called DK. I was like, where are you? He was like, I'm at work. What do you want? What is on fire? I was like, we're in Denmark. He was like, what? Originally, you were kind of like, huh? You were like, what? And then you were kind of like, okay. And then you were like, wait, run that back. I was like, Denmark is on the map for us. You were like, what? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And tell the people who you want next.
I want Russia next. And the reason I want Russia, because I don't drink. I rarely drink. And as soon as we get one download in Russia, I'm taking some Russian vodka to the head. I promise you.
Listen, I need somebody to call their cousin tonight. As soon as you hear it, call them. Share this episode with them. Share, like, comment this episode to them, and tell them, go ahead, download it, because I need y'all to see this. You gonna have to go Instagram live on that day. Get Russian vodka down, I want everybody to see, myself included.
That's terrible. You just want me to make an ass of myself more so than usual, right?
I want to see you choke on fire. Yes.
That's what? This is terrible. You and Nikki in cahoots. I'm not dying no time soon. And Molly gets everything anyway.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, to say the least. So, but usually I close the show out with the, Daily Love Jones. That's not happening. I just want to thank all the people in those great countries that has downloaded the podcast. Like, all jokes aside, people, man, we're grateful, and we're doing this like, it's organic. We not, we have yet to appear, although that's on the horizon, appearing on other people's podcasts. We're not doing no big promotional push. We're not running ads. That's just us being us. And I guess, people just, pick up on a vibe, and I'm riding out to it. So if you love what we're saying, if you agree, disagree, love the sound of my voice, hate the sound of my voice, however it may be, like my lovely co-host has said, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, no matter what platform that you listen to us on. And if you definitely listen to us on Apple, leave a review. Reviews are the, breath life of everything moving. So we greatly appreciate that. Karen, if you got anything, close the show and take us out. If not, then tell the people they can do.
This is the Love Is podcast. You can hear us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Wednesday, 7 p.m. wherever you listen to us to. This is the Love Podcast. It's your girl, that Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the Lovable Asshole, DK Walker. DK, tell the people bye-bye.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
And we out.
Peace.
This episode of the Love Is podcast has ended. But please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.